Welcome once again to our show In Our Teens, a show that brings together parents, teenagers, and experts who help us understand the remarkable journey of our teenagers. First impressions stay forever. इनफैक्ट हमारा जो ड्रेसिंग सेंस है ये प्राइमरी कंट्रीब्यूटर है कि हाउ द वर्ल्ड लुक्स एट अस. हर इंडिविजुअल का अपना एक स्टाइल होता है. एक ड्रेसिंग स्टाइल होता है, स्पीकिंग स्टाइल होता है, राइटिंग स्टाइल होता है, परफॉर्म करने का एक तरीका होता है, अपने आप को प्रोजेक्ट करने का एक तरीका होता है. इसी को फैशन स्टेटमेंट कहते हैं. इनफैक्ट द वर्ल्ड फैशन मार्केट इज फ्लडेड विद टीनेज फैशंस. और उनके लिए टीनेजर्स के चॉइसेस क्या हैं, वो किस तरह के कपड़े पहनना पसंद करते हैं, किस तरह का एक लुक रखना चाहते हैं, ये अपने आप में एक स्टडी है ताकि फैशन ब्रांड्स उनकी डिमांड को केटर कर सके. On that note, in my guest chair today is Mrs. Tia Pikle, brand head for a renowned European fashion house, and who's been in this fashion industry for past 25 years. And yes, a mother to a gorgeous 18-year-old Tia. Hi Nisha, and welcome to our show In Our Teens.
Hi Mansi.
And thank you for being there for us. I know you're extremely busy, but topic ही ऐसा था fashion that we had to have you in our show.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
So Nisha, I have told our audience that you've been in the fashion industry for past 25 years. तो इस 25 सालों में आपने क्या changes देखे हैं fashion trend में?
I think वो जो era था from where we started on, wearing the whole movement towards Western wear.
Okay.
I think वो movement is something which I see from ethnic to fusion to pure Western wear. I think हमारे customers जो है, I think they've also gained a lot of confidence. In the way they look or the way they are. So, concealing या जैसे है, I think thanks to social media and wherever the output or the space is so good that they suddenly become far more confident, and the Western wear space has actually grown a lot more. I think also पहले जैसे नहीं, actually there's a lot of modesty even in Western wear.
Yes.
So I think that's also made it acceptable to wear a lot of Western wear for our customers.
Correct.
Yeah.
I think they are ज़्यादा aware हो गए हैं.
हाँ, ज़्यादा aware भी हो गए, and I think वो जो एक apprehension होता था कि नहीं इसमें कैसे लगेंगे, ये मेरे लिए नहीं है या मैं कैसे लगूंगी. I think वो confidence, I think, और exposure बहुत ज़्यादा है of what will look good on me. Yeah, I'm seeing other people wear it. And I think people like you also inspire a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I think all those things work a lot on the audience and the customers who shop.
Correct. But Nisha, you as a teenager, and today the choices that the teenagers have, आपको क्या लगता है कि क्या हम तभी less privileged थे in terms of fashion कि हमें इतने सारे options available
Choice नहीं था. Very true. Choice नहीं था, awareness नहीं था. I think when I look at my pictures versus my daughter's picture, she's so well put up compared to what I probably looked at that age. I looked horrible, I can say. I mean, when I open my album, I don't think I want to look at it, and I feel very proud of those pictures. But I think अभी के बच्चे जो हैं उनको they know.
Correct.
कहाँ पे क्या पहनना है, किस तरीके से पहनना है, they know it.
Yeah.
So much more.
I still remember as a kid, I used to wait for my father to come from abroad. Somewhere तो 2-4 abroad के pieces आ जाते
हैं. Correct.
That is to be fashion.
And some family member अगर कोई जा रहा हो तो उसको बोल दो, कहीं से भी जो आ रहा है, you want them to pick up something for you, and then that is your piece in your.
Yes. ये बाहर से आया है.
हाँ.
जैसे आजकल because of globalization you have everything available.
Yeah, that's true.
मतलब आज के अगर एक ब्रांड में हम देखें, जो ब्रांड में इधर अवेलेबल है वो अब्रॉड भी अवेलेबल है. तो यू फील मोर कनेक्टेड. या ऐसा नहीं होता कि अब्रॉड जा रहे हैं तो कंप्लीटली वहाँ मिसफिट नहीं लगते हम. हाँ. जिस कंट्री जा रहे हैं हम, यहाँ पे वैसे भी कॉस्ट्यूम्स अवेलेबल हैं. So somehow it becomes easier to blend.
Correct.
To blend in with those.
There. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you is you are a mother of a teenager, and you are in this fashion world. And teenager का हमेशा ये thought रहता है कि एक बार 13 हो जाते हैं तो सबसे पहले वो मॉल में जाके एक crop top खरीद देते हैं. So how do you I mean, how are you thinking about this entire crop top culture that has come up?
See, I think if it looks good on you, so be it.
Correct.
And I think the way it's not about any apparel, or there are no rules to dressing.
Yes.
And why should there be rules to dressing up? Seriously. I think certain kind of lengths or certain kind of fits should soon become a norm. Like that should be the usual.
Yes.
I don't think when we go abroad when you're wearing these things, people are like turning around and
Not at
looking
all.
at you, whatever. And certain cities also now, I mean, I don't think in the metros people really look around or like turn around and look at you or stare at you in a different way.
Yes.
So I think यहाँ पे जैसे norm हो रहा है, which has become slowly normal. I think even in the smaller cities, soon it will become the norm, and that whole apprehension or the taboo of not dressing a certain type will soon go off.
Correct.
So I think it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also this fashion that is giving skin fit clothes. You think it is promoting a fitness sense in the teenagers, or you think fashion sometimes is pushing them towards anorexia?
There is definitely that pressure to look like your peer or fit into something.
Correct.
Like there's always conversation on, do we also change the mannequins on the windows to look like normal size?
Yes.
And not look so skinny and so slim that, it
It looks
becomes
unbelievable.
Yeah, unbelievable. So it's not aspirational for them. It's more like putting a thing on, I don't know how I look in this.
Correct.
So, but there is also a whole study in, at least in the country, that the most sold sizes are M and L. It's not the X and XS.
Are you serious?
Yes. So if you look at that, that means they're far more acceptable. They're far more trying a lot of these. So it's okay to be slowly. So it's actually okay to be.
बट somehow हमारे यहाँ पे अगर आपको रैक में एक्स और एस अगर में आप फिट नहीं हो रहे हो तो
हाँ.
आप वो सेक्शन छोड़ देते हो
Yeah.
बिकॉज कहीं ना कहीं आपको एम और एल में नहीं जाना है.
Correct.
So
L में नहीं जाना है.
L
More than
में
M.
हाँ.
More than
M is also
L.
danger zone.
Yeah, but ML is like, oh my god,
Yeah.
ये तो बहुत ही ज़्यादा, it's like the largest size possible. So
Correct.
I don't think I am a size L. And
Yeah.
वो whole denial of I am not a size L is in the head. It's okay to be, right?
Yeah.
It's okay to be. If you have a body type, then it's okay
Yes,
to be.
some often teenagers fail to understand कि एक bone structure भी होता है.
Exactly. Yeah, you're born with something. And you
Yes.
might have a DNA of a structure of something which is probably genetic.
Yes.
And it's okay. So, if
Yes.
your parents are not skinny, even if you thrive, then you're doing the whole artificial way of
Yes.
staying skinny.
It's not gonna stay for a
you don't have to
lifetime.
be under
Yeah.
pressure. You
Yeah.
can still dress up well enough for your size and still look great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But peer pressure is real.
Peer pressure is real. Peer pressure is huge. Am I looking as good as my other friend? Or, is this color looking still good? Is this color looking good on me? Or will this, will that same crop top look great on me? Or that comparative conversation is quite pressurizing.
Correct.
Yeah.
So are brands aware कि teenagers इस pressure से गुजर रहे हैं, and are they taking any steps positively towards bringing a normalcy in? It's okay to accept the size that you are.
So actually now, at least a lot of European brands that are in India or abroad are doing this size called curve. They're not calling it plus size because it's all about inclusivity. So if you're saying you're curvy, you're voluptuous, and that's the space we are okay with you to be. So if there is a normal size is available, there's a curve size also. Like you have a petite, you have a curve size available.
Correct.
And again, those curve sizes are SML XL. They're not XL, double XL, triple XL.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So
So
it
that's
is less-
also, it's less. So the whole, I'm not saying that, it's a farce, but it's still something far more comforting for them of buying sizes that is to their,
It's
what
a
do you call it?
pleasurable experience
Yeah.
to buy rather than a humiliating
Exactly. Yeah,
experience.
yeah. It's like, oh my god, I don't want to be buying. It's okay. So then it's not, that's what I'm saying. So it's not like a parda over it
Yeah.
of some form, but it's probably making them inclusive and giving them comfort of. So curve is another space like petite, which is a growing space, and then that brings you the comfort of shopping more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, Nisha, sometimes we go to certain brands. We have age group sizes, 7 to 8 years, 9 to 10 years. Often it is noticed that beyond 13 years, there is no size. It's directly into the ladies section.
Yeah.
So somehow kids are pushed into early adulthood.
Most brands have actually failed in the section of 9 to 14 because suddenly the kids who are 10 don't want to be seen shopping in the kids' wear space.
Really?
Yeah, they don't like to be seen shopping in the kids' wear area. Suddenly in their heads, they want to wear like the adult sizes, even if it's a small, even if it's oversized, it's fine. But when they're 10 or 11, the 13-year-olds definitely don't want to be like the 12 and 13.
They don't
definitely
even want to be
seen.
noticed there.
No, that's not their space at all. And also, I think the body types are such now that I think the food, the lifestyle, all of that
Has changed.
Yeah, it's changed. So probably a 10-year-old in my time is not the same 10-year-old now.
Yes.
So the body types have
The
changed.
13-year-olds are
And,
already looking like 18-year-olds.
Exactly.
So they are comfortable shopping
They're
in that
comfortable
section.
shopping in that section. So it's, and also, like you mentioned, there is not that in between space. So it's not like the young kid size is just taken into higher sizes for 9 to 12 or 9 to 14. Those that specific size or what do you call it, section of clothing is also designed separately for them, but they still think it's very kiddish. They still think it's very immature to be wearing those.
It's quite a revolution.
It is.
We never expected this.
No.
And children have grown so fast.
Yeah, they have.
बच्चे कब बड़े हुए पता ही नहीं चला.
Yeah, exactly.
Nisha, we spoke about peer pressure. बच्चे एक सर्टन ब्रांड में अपने आप को देखना पसंद करते हैं. Peer pressure में ये हो जाता है कि एक पर्टिकुलर टाइप के शूज अगर नहीं पहने हैं, so they are not accepted. एक पर्टिकुलर ब्रांड का अगर हुडी या किसी का मर्केंडाइज अगर नहीं पहना है, तो it is not accepted.
Yeah.
But sometimes these things get a little expensive. So what would you have to say to that कि पेरेंट्स कैसे इस सिचुएशन को हैंडल करें जहाँ प्रोवाइड तो करना है, बट हर बार अगर नया है चाहिए, रिपीट नहीं करना है, बिकॉज रिपीट करने से इनफैक्ट रिपीट आउटफिट के फोटोग्राफ्स भी वो जगह पे नहीं डालना चाहते.
Correct.
So what would you like to say about this pressure?
So I think it's not about creating an outfit for the day. I mean, you can still wear something very in different ways. Correct. I think I'm not saying be conjuice, but be conscious. Give them that awareness of what this money is buying them.
Yes.
I'm not saying jatao, but I think it's very important that you keep imbibing that in them of being conscious of what they're spending. So I think then that rubs off positively on them and slowly on their peers as well, because that influence can also be positive, right?
Yes.
So I'm not saying be frugal, but or be conjuice, but I think be very conscious in what you're spending. And I think when that section of kids are also talking about sustainability, and you can actually push it that way also.
Yes.
Like, why do you want to shop so much? And also, progressively, if they're looking at videos of other brands, they can also look at how they wear the same thing different ways. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. You have so many celebs wearing or repeating things which look so different in different ways. I think that's also a way to go.
Yeah.
क्योंकि
repeating outfit बहुत बड़ा pressure.
बहुत ज़्यादा pressure है. बहुत ज़्यादा pressure है.
Yeah.
So it's not like.
No, it is not something that you can ignore.
Yeah, it's also this whole social media, like my outfit, OOTD. So what's my outfit of the day? And I need to post this. So, in what is the next duration, I'm going to post the other one.
Yes.
And what will I be called out to be? Yeah.
So, Nisha, now that you are speaking about social media, on social media we have a lot of teenage influencers, जिनकी काफ़ी following है. They have millions of followers. और वो कुछ भी बताते हैं, जैसे स्किन की रेमेडी हो गई या कोई एक ब्रांड को उन्होंने अगर प्रमोट कर दिया, तो उनके फॉलोअर्स वो कॉपी करना चाहते हैं. बट एट दिस यंग एज व्हेन यू आर, इट इज सोशल मीडिया, ऑफ कोर्स ये एक अच्छी बात है कि उन्हें एक ग्लोबल स्टेज मिल जाता है.
Exactly.
बट क्या आप डू यू फील दैट देयर कुड बी अ नेगेटिव रेपरकशन टू इट? अर्ली सक्सेस, अर्ली फेम, early money?
Yes, I have seen there have been negative influences. There have been mental states that you go through because it's very early successes that you see. And it's just not with these influencers, could be like also, I'm sure in your field as well, the kids who have started early,
Yes.
they suddenly reach a stage where there's so much fame and suddenly the whole pressure of being seen, being there, and
They
having
get
that,
used to that attention.
Yeah.
And then they don't get it after.
and they don't get it. And there again, it's become so competitive because each one has also figured out a space of where they want to be in the influencing space. Some are doing skincare, some are doing fashion, some are doing, and also then the way their views get, like you have TRPs, you have views here, right? So number of views each of their videos get, they then start getting inclined towards that.
Yes.
So they might have started with something as a core, but end of the day, it's also what the million views that they get in something. So
Yeah.
then they start moving towards that. And
No,
that,
I mean,
at the
it is hard
bargain,
work. I
it's
also
hard
want
work,
to
but
tell
then-
teenagers, in fact we were talking to another parent, कि एक वीडियो कंटेंट बनाना
Yeah.
ये काफी हार्ड वर्क है.
Exactly.
ऐसा नहीं कि आप उठे एक वीडियो बनाए और डालो और मिलियन व्यूज आए.
True. But then वो resonate होना, and then that whole pressure of what do I do, which probably the influencer not thinking to that extent of who are they influencing.
Yes.
So they're also influencing somebody who's a 10-year-old
Yeah.
versus somebody who is, it's very strange. I know there's a colleague in office, and he did mention that his 4-year-old wanted to meet this influencer from Hisar, who, you know what he does? He only talks about cars. He only, that 4 or 5-year-old kid wants to go and meet this guy in Hisar, and he's like, Papa, I want to meet this person.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of influence you have.
Yeah.
It's age agnostic
Yes.
of what they're watching. Again, the content can be controlled. You can
Yeah.
still do a kids lock on the content, but end of the day, what are they watching? They can watch or sneak something in between their game or whatever that they're doing on.
बच्चे जब टीनेजर्स बन जाते हैं तो हम ये कहते हैं कि अरे सोशल मीडिया को एडिक्ट हो गए,
हाँ.
बट कहीं ना कहीं हम ये भूल जाते हैं कि बच्चा जब 2-3 साल का था और जब खाना नहीं खा रहा था तो
हमने-
उसे इंस्टाग्राम खोल के दे दिया ताकि वो
Exactly.
उसमें बिजी रहे और
Correct.
हम खाना
YouTube, yeah. So वो YouTube में you don't have a control of one after the other. What's the other video that's going to play? So maybe the next video is something else.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the algorithm.
Yeah, that's the algorithm.
That they are going to show you variety,
Exactly.
and if you have a good time spent, then they are going to show you similar videos.
True. So there are pluses and minuses to
There
this,
are.
because I've also seen kids who have had major fantastic influence on the right set of content they're
Yes,
watching.
yes.
So if you watch the right set of content and then you gaining that much, it's as good as reading a book probably.
Yeah.
So you can keep going into deeper into that kind of lineage of content and then gain from that. But then I think there should be parental guidance on things like this as well.
Yeah.
So there are PG. If there is a PG to a movie,
Yeah.
there should be PG to these content as well. Then
Yeah.
often you
That's
can't see,
there. But
or this is not
sometimes
applicable
parents
to.
बच्चों से ज़्यादा ambitious हो जाते हैं.
Yeah.
तो कहीं ना कहीं वो अपने आप को ही कंट्रोल नहीं कर पाते.
Correct.
Even if the child is sleeping, the child is walking or whatever, हर चीज कंटेंट बन जाती है.
Everything is.
Then it is addiction.
Then it's addiction. True. And then it follows, right?
Yeah.
The kid is also finding fame and fun in that.
Yeah.
So then it's just continuing.
It's a scary
It
situation.
It is.
Also, Nisha, you are a mother to a teenager. Tia is 18 now. It's a new milestone.
Yeah.
Okay, she's an adult. So, how was your journey as a teenage mother, especially when you are a working mother? So, did you ever कभी ऐसे guilt आया है आपको कि एक टिया के एक स्टेज में जैसे जब बच्चा 12 years का हो जाता है तो फिजिकल चेंजेस होते हैं, मेंटल चेंजेस होते हैं, थॉट प्रोसेस चेंज होता है, तो क्या आपको कभी ऐसा लगा एज अ वर्किंग वुमन कि शायद ये फेज में मैंने टिया को थोड़ा और टाइम देना चाहिए, बट माय वर्क नीड्स मी एज वेल?
So I believe in quality time, Mansi. Purely believe in quality time. So my Saturday, Sundays are for her. Have always been for her. And even weekdays, we always ensure that the dinner time is always together.
Okay.
So however late I am, my child has been waiting for me for dinner. So that's my biggest high. Like I want to rush home for dinner because I know she's waiting for me. And that 1 or 2 hours of conversation that we have is absolutely qualitative. So I think that is more important than spending like a whole day. And then I've seen parents get irritated with kids just latching onto them for the whole day.
Yes.
Versus I still get that good time with her, and she knows my space. She respects me. She knows even when to call me at work or when not to call me at work. So I think that line drawn is great.
So I think gently you've slided the fact that we have to respect each other's spaces.
Time. And also I think whether it's raising a child is just not you. It's also your spouse, it's your extended family.
Yes.
So thanks to the extended family that I live with my in-laws. So I've never had that strain of, what will she be doing? Or is she going to come to an empty house? Or is she going to be taken care of? I think that's never been a scene at all. Or say even with my husband, I think he's been equally a partner to raising her.
Yeah.
I think that worked really, really well for me. So wherever we had to be there, we also played a role on, I can do this or I can't do this. And it's always pre-planned.
Okay.
So there's something even in a school activity. There's not a single school activity that both of us have ever missed of hers. There could be the smallest of, you have these role plays that they do after each of the English literature sessions. We've been through that also.
Okay.
So I know, I'm looking at my watch because I need to rush back to work. But then, for her to see her parent in the audience was very important. And through teenagers, I think continuous conversation is very important.
Yes.
You can't say, staying in touch. You can't say, okay, now my child is 10 and now I have to have a conversation about, the menstrual cycle or growing up or body parts. It has to be very, very gradual.
Yes.
It cannot be, this is the calendar time and this is how we need to have it.
Yeah.
Because then otherwise they're going to have this conversation with friends.
करेक्ट, दैट्स
And-
एग्जैक्टली। इनफैक्ट हमारे चेयर पे एक पेरेंट थे, जब हमने बात किया था यही बात की थी कि अगर आप ऐसे नहीं है कि टीनेजर हो गया अब आपको सडनली ओपन अप हो जाना।
yeah,
It's a process with the child since the child is born.
Exactly.
You have to build that connect.
yeah,
That the child confides in you everything.
Correct.
ऐसा नहीं कि अब टीनेजर हो गया अभी आपका मन कर रहा है तो अभी आपको confide करेगा,
हाँ.
ऐसे नहीं हो
yeah,
सकता।
yeah.
And also these phases, you know, parents they try, but teenagers are way ahead in their
But I
thought process.
think, you know what, also distancing yourself from them or telling them, oh, you know what, I don't know what spaces my child in, or I'm not able to connect with my child. Don't do that. Take that effort and let it be a
Yeah.
two-way process. You know, also do things which are good.
Yeah.
Sometimes you not want to watch a movie which is, you know, not your type, but it's okay to just sit
Yeah.
around and watch it with them.
Make them feel
Make
special.
them feel special. Make them feel nice that, okay, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to watch this movie. It's okay to do these things. Or everything can't be your way. And don't put too many rules. It doesn't run. Probably we needed it,
Yeah.
but I don't think they needed
We
it.
also never liked the rules.
We never liked it.
But
right?
we succumb to it.
Yeah. But I don't think they are the ones who will succumb to it easily.
Yeah.
Because I think even the schooling is so different
Yeah.
that there's a lot of reasoning. There's a lot of discussions. I think when I schooled, it was more like the teacher came, she had a 30-minute slot. She would just teach, not bother to understand if the 60 kids in the class understood anything or not. So some like me would not understand, would be very, very apprehensive to ask. And there would be some brilliant ones who would just ace it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how, but they aced it. And whereas now it's a small set of 20-25 kids in a class, and every kid gets that attention.
Yes.
So I think that has also nurtured them, brought that confidence that each one come and participate. There is nothing like a right or a wrong. Be
And they are
vocal.
one-on-one with the teacher.
Yeah, and then
So somewhere, and the teachers in some schools are also very responsible कि अगर उन्हें पता है कि working parent है और घर में enough attention नहीं मिल रहा है तो उनका
Yeah.
ध्यान है बच्चों पे।
Exactly, exactly.
So कहीं ना कहीं schools have also become a comforting zone for
yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah.
क्योंकि ज़्यादा time वो वहीं पे बिताते हैं।
Correct. And also the relationship with teachers is so different from
Yeah,
what we
she's
have, right?
like a second parent.
Exactly.
And hats off to teachers who have the time to invest because they are parents themselves.
Yeah.
And coming and
Handling
being with
25 more of that
yes,
kind.
It's
not
it's
easy.
really commendable.
Yeah, it is. It
Yeah.
is.
So, Nisha, I know child is good most of the times, but I'm sure there are challenging phases as well. So, did you and Tia, आपके relationship में कभी ऐसे challenging phases आते हैं जैसे silent treatment हो गई या I don't want to talk to you right now या banging the doors हो गया क्या ऐसे कुछ situations आते हैं?
So, thankfully, I've not faced it that much because with her, because what we do is she knows, okay, now my mother's definitely going to have a conversation about
Okay.
this. So, it's not hidden, it's not shoved under the carpet moment. We normally have this conversation sooner or later, but as soon as. So, at least I understand that I want to understand her perspective of why she was in that mood, in that situation. So, I don't react to how she is in that situation then, or don't try to correct her in public because I think they don't like it. They don't like it. The others
No, they don't
it.
like being schooled in public.
So I think respecting them in any space, the way they respect you back, is very important.
Yeah.
So have this conversation. I've normally had conversations. It could be the dinner conversation, or when we come back the next morning, or when I see she's a little more settled down. I think that's the time you have a conversation.
But you guys have friction? Is friction normal?
Yeah, friction is normal. It's very, very normal. And it's two individuals, right?
Yeah.
So it's two different individuals. And I think...
So जब friction होता है तो आप दोनों को अपने खुद सुलझाने होते हैं या बाकी family members को भी उसमें आना पड़ता है?
No, actually we rather solve it ourselves and have the other people, because other people is then 10 more perspectives to it, which could be so different from what we are aligned to. So I think it's better कि आप अपने आप में ही उसको resolve कर लो and बाकी members को आप involve ना करो, because वो आपके बीच की situation है.
नाही, कारण आजी आजोबा असतात ना, त्यांना ग्रँडचाइल्डला ओरडलेलं आवडत नाही.
No, my God, they feel very hurt. They feel very, very hurt. Ki, why did you shout or
correct.
her or whatever. Yeah.
So also two generations parenting happening in your house.
Correct.
Do you sometimes feel the friction in two different paradigms of parenting?
Yes.
Yesteryear and now.
Yes. So, but I always say, like my husband also says that, my mother was so strict with me, but she's like so chill with my child. And he's like, I used to get slapped at this moment. parents are so different. It's so okay for her with
We all have
everything
been
that our kids
slapped.
do.
We all have
Yeah,
been
yeah,
thrown
yeah.
in the bathroom. We
Yeah.
all have been given the dhamki of I'll throw you out of the house.
I mean, they've thrown us out of the house. We stood outside the door also. The silliest thing which I can't even remember now. But it's probably not finishing your homework, or you got a
Yes,
remark in your
yes,
calendar from school or
yes.
whatever. It could be as silly as something as that. Or probably you have a set time of coming home at 7:30 after your playtime, and you come at 7:35. So you need to stand outside the door for like
or next day playtime was cancelled.
you're grounded today.
Yeah.
So it's very different from that. So he's saying from that to seeing his parents change like so drastically. For him, it's like, okay, then why did I get slapped for the same things?
Yeah. So Nisha, we as teenagers, we were slapped. We were, told, "Ye nahi hoega, wo nahi hoega." So, but we never experienced depression. Okay, we never felt. हमें कभी नहीं ऐसा लगा कि हमारे parents हमारे दुश्मन हो गए हैं. We always had that thing कि ये जो है, for that minute we always felt max we used to go कि भगवान ऐसे माँ बाप क्यों दिए. Okay, not beyond that.
Not beyond that, correct.
ठीक है, मार्क्स अगर कम भी आ गए तो थोड़ा मार खा के we used to work hard on it. बट अभी बच्चों को ना हम मारते हैं, इट्स गॉन, दैट इज आउट ऑफ द क्वेश्चन. ना उन्हें हम कभी धमकी देते हैं कि घर के बाहर तुम्हें कर दूंगी, ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता. फिर भी बच्चों में डिप्रेशन रैम्पेंट हो गया है. जैसे आप एक अवेयर पेरेंट हैं कि आप जानती हैं कि बच्ची से हर एक इंटरवल में बात कर रही है, लेकिन कुछ पेरेंट्स हैं जो ये ट्राई कर रहे हैं, फिर भी बच्चे बहुत ज्यादा डिस्टर्ब्ड हैं, बहुत ज्यादा डिस्ट्रैक्टेड हैं, बहुत ज्यादा डिप्रेस्ड हैं. तो व्हाई यू थिंक दिस इज हैपनिंग व्हेन द एक्चुअल प्रेशर ऑन देम इज नॉट एज मच एज इट वाज ऑन अस एज अ टीनेजर?
Hansi, I think I would say the pressure on them is slightly higher. I've now seen a non-competitive kid. I think that is the whole change that has come. So while the schools still say it's okay, आपको first नहीं आना है, आप 10th भी आ जाओ, there is no ranking system, whatever. Self-built competitiveness within them is so high that they want to race up, they want to pace up, they want to be that best in everything. It's a self-created pressure. And I think second bit is constant conversation. आप बात करते रहो बच्चों से, वो important है. I'm not talking, it's a working mother today, but there are also women who are homebound. They are so busy and sucked into and so consumed with household stuff that they don't have the time for their kids. They think making good food for their child, it becomes, their contribution to their child's life. But then that conversation is not there. Have conversations. Don't allow your child to shut the door and sit inside or sit in darkness. I think there are also signs. Pick the signs. When there is, you see the signs of depression or you see the signs of that, I think it's important you have that. Probably we never had that privacy.
No.
It's that little house that we all stayed in.
In fact,
we had people like right on our faces like that, right?
No, there was some content where the boy goes and tells the mother, "I'm feeling depressed." The mother said, "Tesod, जाऊं केड़ी क्यों नहीं?"
Yeah. I saw that. It's so funny.
That's how our parents were.
Exactly. Yeah.
क्या है?
Yeah. Exactly.
So, in fact, depression came, that word, from the dictionary came into our lives much, much later.
Correct.
It did not exist.
Yeah.
But
I
it is
think
there.
we were
It
not
is there.
aware. It
Yes.
would have been there. Like,
Like they say, ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance is bliss. So, you know what? Like, even nowadays they say, cancer is spreading like crazy.
Yes.
Okay, maybe you're not aware then.
Yes.
Maybe it was there. Maybe you didn't take a treatment for ABC. But now it's all available. And it's not like it's just at a large scale now. Now because it's aware, it's there.
So you feel it's more talked about now.
Exactly. So I think probably depression or people going through a mental state was a thing in the past where people are not talking about it. Now it's okay to be.
Yeah.
It's okay to be. And also the counselors or the doctors who are available to even treat this are far more widespread than probably before.
Yes.
You have counselors in school now. So even the slightest of change in behavior that the teacher watches, they alert you in a certain way that your child is not seeming okay or whatever. I think
which is a boon.
Which probably who cared in a class of 60 whether you're looking low or you're looking. It's like it's my job to come and teach the 60 of them and I'm gone. So there's no emotional bond between them. So probably it did exist, but it was not highlighted. So now I think it is more visible. And also I don't think I wouldn't say my parents were bad parents, but I don't think we shared that bond of openness with our parents. there was such a line drawn between you can't talk these things to your parents or you
Yes.
can't,
Yes.
which I think is slowly graying out between you and your child. So I think that also then brings up a lot of like
how fashion को western culture ने थोड़ा influence किया है, वैसे
हाँ.
शायद हमारे thought process को भी किया है that we are
Exactly.
willing to be open about certain things.
Correct.
So another thing I wanted to ask you, Nisha, is Tia is going to be 18 now. So have you guys, as a parent, have you had the conversation with Tia as regards safe sex or contraceptives or anything on that line? Is it still a difficult conversation?
It is still a difficult conversation, I would still say. It's still a difficult conversation. It has to, like I mentioned, it has to be easy, it has to be slow, it can't be a thought through like, okay, today is this topic for the day. In fact, the first conversation we had about when she turned 18 is, about partying.
Oh.
That's the first conversation we had with her.
Drinking,
Yeah, so that's the conversation we had with her, and we always told her you have to have your first drink with us.
Yes.
So we partied with her and her friends, and we were literally like invisible parents, but we were there with her having fun. We took her. We did that exact thing of probably pub hopping that night, and we came home at 3 o'clock, and then she saw what probably a sudden change
what that
could
life
be.
is.
Yeah. Her first glass of wine, or whatever that could be. So it was, I mean, that was gradual. Probably this is the next step. And it has to be a conversation in going. It cannot be
organic.
Organic. It can't be like the topic for the day. Like
Correct.
Suddenly I will have this conversation. So,
yeah. And, drugs are rampant in our society.
Yeah.
And they are just available freely.
True.
So how you are educating your teenager around it, Nisha?
So I think we've had this conversation, not now, but probably when she was 11 or 12. And this is when I remember of having this conversation on how, and it was more to do with the surroundings or things that we heard of, and how peddlers could approach you and you won't even realize, and how you can get addicted to certain things, or say begin with vaping or cigarette.
Yes.
It could be as nascent as that. So it need not be drugs to begin with. It could be as simple as this, and that it then becomes a graduation. So then first step is it's okay to smoke, it's okay to vape, and then the second level is it's okay to try these new things, it's okay to be. It's okay to try versus getting addicted to something is so not in your control.
Yes.
Then those conversations with her were quite a thing. I mean, and I think,
and that's the right age to have this conversation, because
also,
children turn 13, they want to have their own birthday parties, they start going out with their friends.
Yeah, and then you don't know. So at least I know, okay, you know what. And then your child coming in, having this conversation, there were these kids, or, they were this happening or whatever. So at least you know that she has her head in a space, and indulging in these things is not. So she knows that these are all taboo spaces, and
okay,
that's the relationship you build over time. Yeah.
And 13, social media says that you're 13 years of age, you can debut on social media. So as digitally we are going so forward so quickly, like we have artificial intelligence coming in.
Exactly.
So protecting your privacy is a big challenge. So how have you groomed Tia protecting her privacy in terms of projecting an image on social media or sharing pictures? क्या आपने कुछ ऐसे गाइडलाइंस बताए हैं, या कुछ ऐसे मिसयूज के बारे में आपने उसे बता दिया है?
Yeah, so I think that also we keep having conversations on about how pictures have been misused, or how they've been taken ahead. And she only has a music account for now, but she did, I think when she was like 9 or something, she uploaded a YouTube video of hers, and it was very like some doll play or something like that. And then actually we spoke to her and she got it off, but she didn't know the repercussion of it. It's a whole thing of, I'm seeing a lot of these things happen, and then others do it. And she only mentioned about it that, you see this video of mine, and then we realized. So then we took it off. So it's not like, because you don't know where it will get used, or you don't know the end.
So Tia is aware about it.
She is.
Like how her privacy could be invaded.
Yes. Because I think social media exposure is at its peak since the past 6-7 years now.
Yeah. So, more after COVID.
Yeah, more after COVID. Yeah.
Because that's where children found their freedom.
Correct.
Because they couldn't go and socialize with anybody else. So जितना भी socialize उन्होंने किया वो online किया.
Exactly. Yeah.
So after 2021 it's more.
Correct.
More than ever.
Yeah.
Okay, Nisha, coming back a little to fashion industry. How are fashion brands consciously being gender neutral and carbon neutral?
Okay, so let's talk about gender neutral. The European markets are still bringing a lot of gender neutral clothing, but again, that's more towards the team. That's where they're trying. I would say they're trying. It's a good space to be, because then you're not complied to buy a women's t-shirt or a men's shirt, or it's very easy shopping in both spaces at the moment. It's still very very small, like a point like
widely
0.00001% types. It's
इंडिया में
really
अभी
small.
वाइडली एक्सेप्टेड तो नहीं है.
I think this whole oversized clothing culture is slowly coming up, but it's still very urban. I would say it's still not tier 2, tier 3. नहीं है वहाँ पर.
अच्छा.
नहीं है वहाँ पर. तो I think even not wearing a dupatta over your suit is such a big deal.
Yes.
So I think this is still far fetched. It'll get there, but it'll take at least. I can definitely not see it happening in the next 5+ years. It'll go. It has its slow space.
And carbon neutral fashion.
So sustainability is definitely a topic that most fashion retailers are very very conscious about. We're slowly getting into it, and it's also something which you can imbibe as a company, where you choose to start from the core of where something is being sourced.
Correct.
Where it's made, how it's made, all of that. But end of the day, we can't control the use of it.
Correct.
Of how much people are buying.
Yes.
Correct. And also with fast fashion and inexpensive fashion, they are so enticed to buy so much more.
Yes.
So while there is this outfit of the day, space, there's also about, oh, it's available at cheap, let me buy more.
Correct.
So
or sometimes if you just see that discount board,
yeah,
you just want to pick it up.
Exactly.
Because it's on discount.
Exactly.
You may not need it.
No.
पर क्योंकि वो डिस्काउंट पे है उसे लेना है.
Yeah.
और ये भी डर है कि अगर मैंने वो नहीं लिया तो कोई और ले लेगा.
Exactly. So, but there's also a very nice concept which I learned, which a lot of my nieces are also into thrift fashion. So that's a nice thing which is beginning. Probably I don't think our parents would have encouraged saying,
no,
buy somebody else's worn
second-hand stuff.
Second-hand stuff, why? Why do you want to do that when you can buy something fresh and new? But I think that's a good concept. Also on the sustainability drive, or the drive that you're talking about, it's a good space to be. So while the retailers, it's very important for you to be conscious about how much you're making and whether to go to the source, whether आपका cotton sustainable है कि नहीं, कैसे बनाया है, who's making it for you. I think all that line is important, but at the end of the day, I think using it multiple times. How can I wear it?
Correct.
Will it last for longer? I think those things also being aware is very important. I really hope people can start making content on different ways of wearing the same thing.
Yeah.
Or then of how conscious you need to be from where these things are sourced, so that then there's also the reverse pressure on people in fashion to create and manufacture things which are more conscious.
Correct.
Because the whole pressure can be reversed as well.
Yeah. But like जैसे हम parenting के बारे में बात करें, अगर हम sustainability के बारे में भी खुलकर बात करें, जैसे I'll tell you, Nisha, it is I just came to know about 2 years back that for one cotton shirt it takes about 15,000 liters of water.
Yeah.
That made a huge difference to my thought process of looking at clothes. And also there are few personalities, international huge investors who follow just wearing one type of clothing every single day.
Yeah.
और उनका thought process ये है कि वो एक ही टाइप का टी शर्ट और एक ही टाइप की पैंट रोज पहनते हैं. It's not that they're repeating, but वो है क्योंकि वो आज क्या पहनना है इसमें एक मिनट भी सोच में वेस्ट नहीं करना.
Correct. That is the perspective that they have. So I think there's both ways. एक तो सोचा नहीं कि सुबह उठ के क्या पहनो. It's like a uniform every day. But the second thing also being conscious of, okay, I am okay to be. So also if you need to, put idols to yourself, but bring those kind of idols for yourself. They are achievers, but they're also wearing they also have a certain lifestyle.
And wearing normal clothing.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you have to indulge in fashion.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's your, I want to have this kick in my life.
Don't get overboard
for you,
with
but
it.
don't get overboard with it.
Yeah. Nisha, I'm already feeling glam speaking to you.
Thank you. Oh my God, overwhelming.
But it's time we invite Tia now. Tia यहीं बैठी हैं और जब हम दोनों बात कर रहे थे तो हम बीच में टिया को देख रहे थे और वो नॉट कर रही थी कि बिल्कुल सही जा रहा है. सो उसे समझ आता है कि बहुत ही समझदार टीनेजर है. आइए बात करते हैं टिया से. Hi Tia and welcome to our show in our teens.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Oh, it's such a pleasure. आपसे जानना चाहूँगी कि जब हमने आपसे कहा कि हमारे शो में आए So what was the first thought that came to your mind?
I was like, oh, an interview. That's something new because all this while I've only been to interviews for either college or something for school. So the whole thought of interview has been so serious for me. So when I was looking through your Instagram is when I found out that it's just like a casual conversation. So I was pretty through with it.
Did you rehearse in front of the mirror?
Not this time.
Yeah, I cannot believe that, I have seen you as a baby. I would say baby, okay? And, you have grown to be such a fine young lady.
Thank you.
It's remarkable. I'm sure your mother is a feisty woman and, you have her as an inspiration. तो मम को देख के आपको लगता है कि आपको उनके जैसा बनना है कि आपका अपना खुद का एक पैशन है?
So growing up, मैंने उनको बहुत देखा है काम करते हुए. She's always been a working woman. So I would say I was born into the working space. तो बचपन से she's taken me to her workplace. तो वो देखते आए. It's actually how do I say? It's not consumed me. It's I brought on to it to myself. So it's inspired me. So looking at that, I think I am naturally growing into becoming her.
You think your internship happened too soon?
Yeah.
It helps.
Yeah, it helps.
It helps. Understanding. I think you're lucky कि आपको आपकी मॉम के वर्क स्पेस में जाने का मौका मिला ताकि आप देख सके कि आपकी मॉम क्या कर रही हैं. ये बहुत बड़ा प्रभाव हो जाता है बच्चों पर when they realize that because some children don't understand what their parents
Exactly.
going for work मतलब वहाँ जाके क्या कर रहे हैं.
Exactly, yeah.
So somehow I think you started respecting your mother's workspace too soon, and that helps the bond strengthen. So Tia, when you turned 13, the teen birthday, what was the first thought? The first thing that you wanted to do that I am a teenager?
Honestly, I never really pressured myself into growing up very fast because it's a natural process. It just goes that way. And I remember all my friends had phones at that time and I had just asked for one. So when I had just turned 13, that was my first thing that I had asked for as a birthday gift was, can I have a phone? And I remember that I got this nice little budget-friendly phone and and it had games and then that's when I downloaded Instagram, but I didn't really know how to log into it. I remember I had spammed my camera roll with lots of random selfies and random people and like close-up selfies of my grandparents and it was overwhelming.
But when you stumbled upon social media at that age, you didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
Then how did you figure around it?
I would say I just went with the flow. I didn't have anyone to instruct me on how this works or what you do on it or what goes on it, what doesn't go on it. The basic boundaries are already been told.
Correct. She told us when you uploaded something without understanding the repercussions of it.
Yes. So I was already told on what I should upload and what I shouldn't. So when I downloaded, the first thing that I put was my name and everything. And then I started contacting my friends, asking them, I just joined Instagram, send me your username. And are you on Instagram? Why are you not on Instagram? You should be on Instagram. You are 13.
The pressure of 13.
Yeah.
The pressure of being 13. The pressure of being socially relevant.
Yeah.
Is so much more that you want to be there. And I don't think इसमें कोई गलत बात है. I always believe that social media can be, you are a fabulous singer. So अभी जैसे आप अपने singing videos बनाती हैं और आप डालती हैं. So I think it is a way of having your own identity at such a young age. Be it your passion. लेकिन आप अपनी identity उससे बनाना चाहती हैं कि मैं एक passionate singer हूँ. And your page is full of that. So somehow I feel कि social media एक digital footprint है. कि मतलब अगर मैं आपको नहीं जानती और मैं आपके प्रोफाइल को देखूं तो मैं जान सकती हूँ कि आप किस तरह की what kind of a person you are. So I think it's an extension of our identity. So कुछ बच्चे मिसयूज करते हैं लेकिन कुछ बच्चे रिस्पॉन्सिबली इसका यूज भी कर रहे हैं. जैसे आप अपनी टैलेंट को शोकेस कर रही हैं. बहुत सारे बच्चे आर्ट डालते हैं, कुछ बच्चे बुक रिव्यूज करते हैं.
Correct.
So I think there is a positive way of
Absolutely.
utilizing social media as well. When we are doing these episodes, yesterday, day before yesterday, we got a comment from a happiness coach who said that, okay, most of the times teenage parenting is grim stuff. कि ये नहीं हो रहा, वो नहीं हो रहा, बच्चे नहीं सुन रहे. लेकिन between you two, what is the happy stuff?
Happy stuff is, I remember those memes, I wouldn't call it memes, like those posts that we used to get on WhatsApp that said happiness is dot dot dot, and there was like a little doodle, and then it's for me, it's happiness is dinner time.
Everybody is together.
Yeah, when everybody is together.
So-
That's something that I look forward to after spending the whole day, whether at school or outside, hanging out with friends.
दिस इज सो स्पेशल, जबकि अभी फैमिलीज में सबके डिनर टाइमिंग्स इतने अलग अलग हो गए हैं. कोई 6 बजे के पहले खाता है, कोई तो खाता ही नहीं है, कोई लेट खाता है.
Correct.
Having this is such a boon.
It is.
Where
It is.
she's looking forward to
Yeah,
it. So I think we can take this as a takeaway from this chat today,
True,
that
true.
one quality time where all family members are together
Yeah.
at a dinner table with no phones,
Correct.
just
Yeah.
laughter and giggle.
And we actually don't watch TV also then.
Yeah,
We are just on the
that
dinner
is a
table.
mar on my profession.
Yeah, because it's your prime time slot. It's your 9 o'clock
Yeah,
prime
yeah,
time slot. Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to ask you, what do you think of tattoos?
Wow, this is such a coincidence. I just had a conversation with her yesterday about it. I was like, let's get matching tattoos now that I'm 18. And I thought of something. I haven't really looked into it. But yes, that is something that I want to experiment with.
So why only mom? Why not all three of you?
I would say she's more experimental with everything.
Father is not. Yeah. Father is least experimental with
Yeah.
food also. So this is something like way beyond his ask.
So when you are with mom, what is the best thing that draws you towards her? Of course, she's your mother, but that fun element in her that that you want to be with her to experience that. What's that fun element in Nisha?
I don't think growing up. I mean, after she had me, I don't think she ever wanted dolls, because I was always the muse for her Barbie doll dress up play. So that's how I grew up on wanting to dress up and enjoying that. So us watching movies, of course we don't have as much time to go to the theater to watch movies anymore. But whatever that shows up on OTT is what we sit and watch together, and go for shopping, and I'll probably waste at least 5 hours of her time in the trial rooms.
You all do?
Yeah. She takes a lot of time to try.
Because in trial rooms, first they try, then they click pictures, then they see.
Correct.
Picture
No,
mein
so
ठीक लग रहा है.
thankfully she doesn't click pictures,
Yeah.
but she takes so much time. So probably she looks at herself and then she judges whether it's a good or no. And then sometimes she'll not even come out wearing that, and then she'll be like another outfit wearing. So I was like, what were you doing for so long inside?
But that's
I have to
okay.
be sure of what I'm getting,
Some people
because
take time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's the fun thing about dad?
it's him taking me to school when I miss my bus, and then
Seen that?
yeah, and then
Struggling.
and then it's the whole like the whole range of tanas this to that on the way from
You're not doing this.
You could have woken up
Yeah.
at least earlier.
Thankfully, this hasn't happened as much, but whatever it is, it's a core memory for me, because growing up, I know that I will laugh about it for sure.
Yeah,
it was
because
the same.
you're 18 now. That struggle is, even if you want to, it's not gonna happen.
Because
Those golden time.
Yeah.
And I don't have that option anymore. If I've missed the train, I'll have to wait for another 5 minutes to catch the other one. So that is something that I'm on my own now.
So special.
Yeah,
Some
it is,
memories
it
are
is.
so special.
It is. And he is so particular with his time, and you respect others people's time. You could be somewhere on time. I think that he's imbibed well in her. So, even when her friends meet, she's the first one to be there.
Correct.
So I think that positives are huge, which
Respecting
I would
others'
say the
time.
impact of,
Yeah.
okay, get ready to school on time.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah.
But luckily, dad is out of that zone now.
Yeah.
I would say he's relieved.
But that was a scene in the morning for me every morning. To see this whole struggle
everybody.
between the father and the daughter. It was like a moment every morning. It's funny now, but it wasn't funny then.
It's like Big Boss with just 2 generations. That's it, and the rest of them are just watching. And then my grandfather would be sitting and reading newspaper like, "Abhi kya hua? Abhi kyun chilla raha? Abhi kya ho gaya?"
So coming to that, 3 generations in one house. What is the takeaway?
In one word, very chaotic. In other words, it's a lot of diversity because my grandparents know how to spend their time. My grandfather is very productive. He wakes up early in the morning, so that is one thing. The first thing I wake up to is the mixer. Yeah, the mixer grinding. So apart from waking up to the 7 a.m. mixer grinder alarm clock that I have to face every morning, is that one question that my grandmother will pop up with is when I'm sleeping. She will open the door. She knows I am sleeping, and she'll wake me up and ask me to soya kya?
That every grandmother does.
And then I am half asleep. My eyes are not. I haven't even opened up my eyes, and then she'll be like, "Kya khayegi?" And then I am in such a zone where I'm trying to wake up, and then I have to think of what I want to eat. I said, "Jo bana hai, main kha lungi."
No, but this is a daily conversation because I think for grandparents, the center of their lives is the grandchild. And what they do, what they eat, is she eating the right thing, or even if she misses, so if it's like she misses eating rice and she's eating just noodles, then the whole thing will be like she didn't eat only today.
Yeah.
Maggie is the enemy.
Yeah. So if it's a noodle or a pasta, then it's not food. So it's like a snack. So she'll be like, "Oh my God, she didn't eat at all today." I'm like, "Tia, you didn't eat." "No, I ate pasta." I'm like, "She didn't eat enough." So I think it's their way of showing their love to their grandchild on whether it's she's fed enough and the conversation is all around food, and she cooks really well and she can make anything really so well. So I think the whole thing is you tell me what you want to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But listening to this conversation, मैं सिर्फ इतना बोलना चाहती हूँ कि you have two set of parents. एक working parents है and एक stay at home parents है जो आपके grandparents हैं. I mean, you are lucky and you are blessed. बिकॉज कभी कुछ बच्चे ऐसे होते हैं कि वर्किंग पेरेंट्स होते हैं तो कुछ टाइम उन्हें अकेले बिताना पड़ता है या तो नैनीज के साथ बिताना पड़ता है तो वो कनेक्ट कहीं ना कहीं रह जाता है बट शी इज ब्लेस्ड टू totally. So Tia, bullying is something that every teenager goes through. Body shaming is something that they go through. Skin discrimination is what they go through. Do you happen to go through any of these situations, or if you have seen it with your friends that you would want to spotlight here?
So nothing in particular I have faced, but it's this minor detail that not a lot of people pay attention to. Is I grew up as a skinny kid, okay, and that's a part of my genetics, and that was something that I had accepted. And I was told that it is normal, so it's nothing that you have to be ashamed of or look down upon. So being called out like that you're the skinny one, it didn't really prick me because I didn't care, because I was told that हाँ ये तो normal है, इसको दिमाग में डाल के उसका कुछ करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. But I have seen a lot of bullying around, whether it be school or building friends with my friends, where they're told that you can't play with us, you don't fit in.
Why? Because you're skinny.
You're not a
Yeah,
type.
you're not.
You don't fit their type.
You don't fit our type. You're not like us, or you don't dress up like we do. That's such a high school drama that still
exists,
that is something that is actually coming up in India. That wasn't there earlier.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah. It's all the TV shows and everything that comes up that actually influences
the Western TV
the
shows
Western
more,
TV
actually,
shows
yeah.
more.
It was not this way when I was a kid. It was not this way. कि you don't fit in का criteria अलग था. They used to make me कच्चा नींबू. You know what is Tachalu?
Yes, exactly.
I'll tell you what Tachalu is that they just don't, do out to you
Correct.
because you don't just fit into that criteria.
You're not competitive enough.
So yes, it happened, but we never took it too hard. We didn't realize that. But
Yeah.
today it's on a very, very different scale.
Correct.
And it's hurtful.
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to ask you, Tia, mom is in fashion industry. So the advantages and disadvantages for you.
Okay, so
मतलब ऐसा था कि
Yeah. I
Yes.
knew this was coming, yeah.
Yes.
It's like
Okay.
I've heard this before.
So a huge advantage is that now that I'm also going into the same industry, she's helped me connect with a lot of people, and she's told me the do's and don'ts of how you can dress up and what suits you. Or but she's actually left me into the whole. She's just left me essay ki you pick whatever you want, because then I can do my own decision making, and I will end up deciding ki this fits my vibe, this fits my style, this is something that is going to be my statement. Like I if I'm going even with her to buy new clothes, I would probably end up picking the newest clothes that I have from the wardrobe, and probably wear some wide leg jeans or some oversized t-shirt and shoes, and forget that it's raining outside, and then go back inside and change into chappal and come outside. That's another thing. So it's that. That's the advantage. Apart from that, disadvantage would be first thing, the rainy chappal thing that I mentioned earlier.
So mom is an impeccable dresser,
Yeah,
and you like to be a lousy dresser sometimes,
sometimes.
and that can be a conflict.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when I'll tell you, when moms have to take their kids around, they have that typical image of their child, which they have already made.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
And in that image, the chappals don't fit.
Correct.
Okay, so yeah, that's the conflict. Because हम भी चाहते हैं ना कि हमारा बच्चा एक तरीके से दिखे.
Vision hai.
When
Yeah.
there was a stage where she could only be in tracks and
Leggings.
sports shoes and leggings, and she was like, wherever I can wear this, I'll come with you, otherwise I'm not coming with you.
Yeah.
So that was one stage, and
Yeah, so yeah, teenagers have different
Correct,
stages.
correct,
but,
correct. So
yeah.
that was that 13-year-old where so stuck up in the head of, no, I only want to wear shorts and I only want to wear oversized t-shirts and my sports shoes, and that is my
Yeah.
look.
So now that you're into designing and you're going to be designing apparel soon, am I right?
Actually,
somewhere there.
yes, more into styling, more
Styling
into
and-
communication.
okay. So what is this? What is that one thing that you want to change from today's trending fashion that you do not want to be in your, in your work? The one thing that you want to change about fashion industry.
One thing I want to change about fashion industry is cancelling the non-sustainability culture that has already been carried on, and not okay. So this is the bad side of social media that I would talk about. People are more involved in irrelevant things that they forget that there are real world problems also.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would also say that, sometimes on the way to some holiday via road trip, we would find like a huge stack of
Clothes,
rags or clothes in some
which are not
landfill.
biodegradable.
Yeah. And I would say I would have used this for something, whether it be घर पे उसका पोछा बना के उसका पोछा लगा रहे हैं. But she actually taught me a lot of things I can do with clothes that I don't want. So like she mentioned earlier about the whole thrift, the concept
Yes.
of thrifting. So she's actually encouraging me to sell like clothes that are of good condition.
That's recycling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can actually save up with that money, and I can use it for a better thing.
Correct.
Because now that I will start going to college, I will have I'll have friends to go out with,
Yes.
or probably
Buy new
for
books.
transport.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. For
Small
transport.
expenses.
You can
yeah.
utilize
Yeah.
that money for a
Exactly.
better purpose.
Correct.
Than buying clothes with red color
Exactly.
tags called discount.
Yeah.
That red color is too attracting at all
It's
times.
vibrant and just shining into your
And
eyes.
many
calling you.
people have कपड़े उनके क्लोजेट में रहते हैं और टैग्स के साथ, और वो कभी नहीं पहनते उसे.
Yeah.
But just जैसे मैंने मम से कहा कि the fear of someone else taking it,
Correct.
Yeah.
you just want to buy and
Yeah.
put it in your
Yeah.
closet.
Yeah.
Okay, on that note, let's check how you both know each other very well. So Tia has to write what is that one thing you definitely want from your mom's closet. And Nisha has to write that what is that one thing that you already know that she wants from your closet. इथे तर लिहून पण झालंय.
Yeah, that was quick, yeah, Tia. She's always waiting for me to clear my cupboard and then she had piled up.
It's gone from the closet already,
My
Nisha.
bag for sure. Yeah, I can say bag.
Yeah.
Bag. Is it this?
What's it?
Jewelry.
Jewelry bag.
Yeah.
Maybe bag full of jewelry.
Yeah.
You fixed it
Works.
for me.
Yes. So, Nisha and Tia, heels, flats or sneakers?
This is a
For
tough
each one of us or for like each other?
No, you have to write what she would go for it and you have to write what
Okay,
mom would go
okay.
for it. Flats, heels or sneakers? Are acres.
She'll go for sneakers.
Both of you are. This is so great. What is mom's stress buster? And what's Tia's stress buster? A chat with her sister. Is it true?
Netflix and chill.
It's more like music.
Music.
Yeah, because I have my earphones plugged on all the time.
Yeah. But then she also has these go-to series where she's watched them like a billion times
Yeah.
and she's still watching them. So,
But is she right? The chat with your sister calms you down?
Totally. I
Nice
have to
too.
chat with her at least twice a day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she'll only get calls when we're sitting together. And
But
then it
are you
becomes-
Masi's girl?
Yeah.
Totally.
Okay, one characteristic that you would want to change in Tia and one characteristic that you would want to change in Mama.
Very controversial.
It's okay, you can be
She won't say
upfront.
anything after going home.
Yeah.
Maybe she's perfect, Tia.
No.
Are?
I'm actually thinking.
Do you know they say the soul chooses the womb? You chose her, maybe she's perfect. You don't want to change anything about her.
I'm actually thinking what it could be.
Does mom have temper?
No.
Oh, she's a calm person.
But when she loses it, she loses it.
She does? She does lose it?
Yeah, she has to really test my patience too.
And she's what kind of a mom she is when she loses it? She's the one that goes into the washroom and locks the door and just calms her down and comes out? Or she's the one who goes yelling at everything that's happening around?
No, it's like a 2-minute explosion and then it's gone.
So she needs that.
Yeah,
to
she
come out.
needs that.
And how often is that?
Once in a while, because I actually had to think when was the last time this happened.
But do you realize like my daughter realizes that is one of the phases.
Yeah.
Okay, and sometimes she doesn't even give me that attention because उन्हें लगता है कि attention देने से और मैं और कर दूँगी. So do you feel that or do you later sometimes you do feel that यार अभी आज थोड़ा serious है.
But I feel most of my characteristics have come from her.
Yeah.
So I somewhat get it when if it's like an explosion, you leave it. Just let it go.
Yeah.
Don't do anything.
She'll heal herself.
Yeah.
So
And
what is
because
that?
it's the same with me.
You do lose it?
A lot.
You have a temper
A lot.
issue?
Yeah, she has.
lot.
She has, yeah.
नया है.
Naya,
No,
naya.
but she's also a very hangry person. She'll not eat, and I know it's the food that is, and I keep telling her that why don't you eat? You will be a better person.
Snickers.
But many children don't realize कि
Yeah.
भूख लगी है इसलिए गुस्सा आ रहा है. ये
Exactly.
problem है.
And for her, it's perpetually that. The moment she eats, she's another personality.
Yeah. It happens.
Yeah.
They don't realize. So what is that one thing you want
So,
to change?
like,
in
I
Tia?
want her to be slightly more quick and her timeliness. Like,
Being quick is
Be
even...
quick.
Yeah.
Like, she can take an hour showering, and now that she needs to, and this is a very post-pandemic thing. She was bad, now she's worse. So she takes really long to like get ready or
No, but that's
like-
everywhere. If you tell them, and another thing, अगर उनको 3 काम बोलो आप, उसमें से उनको सिर्फ एक याद रहता है. 2 कन्वीनियंटली भूल जाते
जाते
हैं.
हैं, correct.
एंड इतना कन्वीनियंटली भूलते हैं कि वो मुड़कर बोलते हैं कब बोला. With too much confidence.
correct.
But आजकल के बच्चे थोड़ा, they are not slow. I wouldn't say they are slow. They are in their
Forgetful.
own world. Guys, such a pleasure
Thank
speaking to
so
you.
much.
Thank you for gracing our show.
Yes, and I think it was fun more than an interview. I think it's
Yeah.
You know,
a
it's
good
it's
chill.
fun to also know many parents and teenagers who came here also later on told us that, you know, it's a new bond that they discovered.
Yeah.
You know, you play games, you chat,
Correct.
you reflect upon your journey that you had together.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, and it's just special. It's just
Correct.
a special moment, and thank you for making us a part
Thank
of
you.
it.
You're
Yeah.
most welcome.
And
Pleasure.
here's a little
That's
a
lovely.
prosperous jade.
Oh,
We
love
love
me and my
plants.
So
team.
cute. We both love plants.
Yeah.
And
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
may it bring amazing prosperity in your
Lovely.
lives.
Lovely. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you for coming. Coco Chanel's true words: keep it classy and keep it fabulous. On that note, आज का एपिसोड हम यहीं ख़त्म करते हैं, लेकिन आपसे मिलेंगे अगले एपिसोड में. Till then, do not forget to like, share and subscribe. And yes, please आपके comments लिखते रहिए. आपके comments हमारे लिए feedback हैं. Bye bye and take care.
तू सब जानदा है मैं छड़ नहीं सकदी ਤੈਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਨਾ ਉਂਗਲਾਂ ਤੇ ਰੋਜ਼ ਨਚਾਉਣੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਅਗਲੇ ਜਨਮ ਵਿੱਚ ਅੱਲਾ ਐਸਾ ਖੇਲ ਰਚਾ ਕੇ ਭੇਜੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤੂੰ ਬਣਾ ਕੇ ਭੇਜੇ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਬਣਾ ਕੇ ਭੇਜੇ ਵੇ ਮੈਂ ਤੋ ਤੇਰਾ ਛੱਡ ਜਾਣਾ ਗੱਲਾਂ